And we're back now live in our studio as we await coverage of a session with the National Book Award winners and finalists on tonight's program, the first of our 3 days here in Miami at the Miami Book Fair. And I'm with Rich and Kelly and Kelly.
Yes.
I thought I said Kerry.
Oh,
but
no,
of course,
no.
Kelly.
Yeah.
You guys have watched the National Book Award for a long time. First of all, this is the first time they have come to Miami. Rich, was that part of the?
Yeah, one of the most exciting parts about getting this year was that for the first time ever, they as they may have talked about earlier, this is the first year that they've brought these finalists and winners down to Miami. It's been so close to the actual awards ceremony, they've never been able to make it happen. Mitchell made it happen this year. And for us, that made it an even better night, a first night where you're dealing with some of the greatest writers in America right now, in the world, frankly.
Sort of puts it into the news, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they also did such a great job on Wednesday night honoring, I can't remember what they call the award. Is it the Literarian Award?
Yeah, Literarian.
And this year they gave it to an organization called First Book, which is this phenomenal organization that's isolated this need, which is for a kid to get their first very own hard copy book that they can write their name in, and they can dog-ear the pages, and they can scribble in the margins, and they can have that first magical reading experience with their very own copy. They've given 120 million books away to, I think, 32 million kids. And you know, from their stats, that they say that 42% of kids in America are living in such a way that they couldn't ever afford a book otherwise. So 42% of kids don't get to have that falling in love moment. And that's not good for anybody.
No.
I mean, it's not good for publishers, obviously, but that's the most crass element. I mean, the thing it's not good for is for discussion and for intellectual development and for all the incredible self-soothing that a book can provide for a kid and for an adult, frankly. So anyway, I thought firstbook.org was so deserving, and I think that's an awesome element of the National Book Awards.
I talked to Harold Augenbraum from the National Book Foundation here a little earlier, and it is interesting because it's part of this much bigger effort, right? I mean, they turn it into a multi-day. They think of it as National Book Awards week.
Yeah.
And now they have the long list, right, as well as the short list, so that there's many more writers out there for all of us who are readers to pay attention to. This is part of their effort to, in the new world, to have a bigger voice.
About that, relative to the last conversation about online criticism versus printed criticism, is that with the proliferation of content online, the need for curation has never been greater. And so part of what the National Book Awards doubling their list is, going to 40 titles that they're calling out for America, is they're providing this incredible service, which is I need somebody to tell me, somebody who's read it all, to tell me, here's a list of great books. You could just plow through these in a year and call it your reading list and be ready to go. And that's ever more valuable.
Absolutely. I mean, bookstores, I worked in bookstores for a long time, and they do an amazing job still to this day. Independents especially are really finding their sea legs again after being sort of pushed around a little bit by some of the big chains. And what's amazing is that they do such a great job with discoverability and helping people discover new books. But something like the National Book Awards now elevates all those titles that you're talking about into the public consciousness, provides a reading list of sorts for anybody to go out and start diving into what they know is quality literature. And the other element is that for the winner, it's transformative. I mean, you had Phil Clay in here earlier. He told me he had 400 emails in his box today. He's in a whirlwind thing to New York. And
Boy,
then down
that's
to
a
Miami.
whirlwind for him. I mean, as a young writer, first book, and then he wins that award. That's
exactly. I mean, he's on this roll right now, but it's not done. I mean, when you win this award, the glow extends to all the nominees and all the long-listed people as well, but the winner has an especially fun ride with a lot of added attention to their work for a long time.
Yeah.
And all these awards are providing a story for the media to cover.
Right.
And I think keeping books in front of the camera and in the media is really important for all of us. So and this is a particularly great story because he's so young. I think he's not even 35 yet. Yeah. It's his first book, so the story will get picked up everywhere. And I think every minute that people spend thinking about books and thinking about writers and honoring them is a minute well spent.